It's time to check out a new deck. Annoyance is coming your way, and if you don't know what I mean, it's gonna paralyze you every day. When you evolve my Pikachu to Raichu, you won't be able to fight you. You will be stuck, and it's true. Then I hear my Heatmor calling. Items celebrate the dawn, and Victini will keep rolling. Flip a coin, you're going down. We will paralyze you every time. Devolution Spray is going okay, and we will repeat until you're going away. When you evolve my Pikachu to Raichu, you won't be able to fight you. You will be stuck, and it's true. What's up YouTube, it's Zapdos TCG here, and welcome to episode 147 on my channel, where I'll be taking a closer look at the Heatmor Raichu deck that took everyone by storm at the London Internationals. But first, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more great Pokemon TCG content like this, and also hit the little notification bell so you're updated immediately when a new video hits the channel. Alright, where do we even begin with this deck? Well, let's start off by saying this is an infinite paralyzation deck, if you have not noticed by the intro rap. So we want to keep the opponent paralyzed every single turn, and how do we even do that? Well, let's start off with talking about Raichu from Burning Shadows. Raichu has an ability called Evo Shock that states, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may leave your opponent's active Pokemon paralyzed, which will be our main thing to do every single turn. So run 4 Pikachus and 4 of these Raichu, preferably a split between the Generation Pikachu and the Sun and Moon 81 promo, since yeah, those can paralyze with the attack as well. But keep in mind that the Sun and Moon promo does fit a little bit better since it has 10 extra HP, which is yeah, keeping it away from being devolved or yeah, one-shotted by something. Yeah, having 70 HP is nice, but the other one from Generations only needs Colorless energies to attack, so in that particular case it's a little bit better since we are gonna run 4 DCEs in this deck and 2 Rainbow energies. It also has an attack that Raichu, but don't even care about that, you won't be using it ever at all. In this situation you want to go for deck out, but more on that later. So you might wonder, how can I evolve 4 Pikachus after each other and then keep it going every single turn, because there's only 4 Pikachus, right? Well, there's where Devolution Spray comes into play. We're gonna run 4 copies of that, and together with this card we can devolve one of our Pokemon and put the evolution card back into our hand. So now that you know how this is getting looped every single turn, you might wonder what happens if our Devolution Sprays run empty or if we discarded them. Well, that's where our good friend Heatmor comes into play. Again from Burning Shadows, we're gonna run 3 copies of that. Its first attack lets you flip 2 coins, and for each heads we can put a card from the discard pile back into our hand. Sounds pretty good, right? So that way we can keep reusing our Devolution Sprays, just grabbing them back every single turn with Heatmor. Also, we run 4 Puzzles of Time, so we also have the option of running 2 of those at the same time in your hand and just dropping 2 of those to grab 2 cards from the discard immediately. I know sometimes we might flip Tails twice on the attack of Heatmor, but that's where Victini, aka Fliptini from Guardians Rising, comes into mind. If we run 2 copies of that, we should be fine, and we should have all the luck of the world by our side, since Victini's ability lets us reflip the coins of an attack once during our turn with the ability Victory Star. So let's say we use the attack of Heatmor and manage to get 2 Tails. Well, that's a bummer. Well, no worries, we flip again thanks to Victory Star, and we'll most likely get 1 heads after that time, which means we can grab another one of those Devolution Sprays and get the luck going continuously turn after turn. So the win condition of this deck is pretty simple. Keep the opponent in an infinite paralyzation lock until they run out of cards. If they can't draw a card at the start of their turn, they automatically lose thanks to a deck out. We run Heatmor so we will never run out of cards, since we can put cards directly from the discard pile back into our hand. So with this strategy, we keep the opponent in an infinite paralyzation lock while the opponent suffers while their cards getting drawn every single turn or used. So once they run out of their ends or their Guzma or something like that, it's over. They're in an infinite lock and they automatically will yeah, deck out once we have a little bit of patience here. Yeah, on the other hand, the opponent will have a difficult time here, so just to stress that, I cannot stress that enough, the opponent will have a difficult time. So, since we go for the deck out, we might as well play Team Rocket's Handiwork, definitely run 1 copy. Again, it's with flipping coins, but the deck revolves around it basically, so yeah, for each head, on that supporter, we can discard 2 cards of the opponent's deck. We want to hope that out of that discarding card from the top of the deck, the opponent discards a Guzma. With that, we might be a little bit quicker to win the game, because Guzmas are the only thing that can actually target something, just getting them out of the paralyzation lock. But they only run 4 Guzmas, and they need to take 6 prize cards. So just to keep that in mind. In combination with that, we also want to run 1 Durant from Breakpoint. Since we do run 2 Rainbow Energies and 4 DCEs in the deck, we might as well go for 1 Durant, which can help with milling the opponent. If we have a Rainbow attached, we can discard the top card of the opponent's deck, and if we manage to get another energy attached to it, we can discard 4 cards of the top of the opponent's deck. Since the Rainbow Energy will get a damage counter onto it, which activates that side effect, and we can discard top 4 cards of the opponent's deck. Okay, if that wasn't fun enough, there are 3 more Pokemon I want to talk about in this particular deck. First up is Xurkitree-GX. This is a promo GX that you can get in the Ultra Beast collection boxes, and this GX is amazing to stall out, since its ability makes it invincible, and it will not be receiving any damage if the opponent has a special energy attached, which means most top decks at the moment. Let's be honest, let's think about, oh, Zoroark, you have a DCE, sorry man, you cannot attack us. Oh, that's a pretty interesting Broswell. Oh no, it has a strong energy, sorry man, you cannot hit us. So since the deck also runs Ninja Boy, Xurkitree can come out of nowhere and just surprise the opponent. So yeah, an awesome stall Pokemon right there, and it can also give the opponent a harder time if they if we manage to get the GX move going on, because that GX move can just look at the opponent's hand and just select one of their cards and put them add it to the prize cards, which is really devastating in the early turns of the game. Let's say they have a Lele or a Sycamore as the only draw support in their hand. Well, just put it in the prize cards and you're fine. So the deck also plays a 1 copy of Ninja Boy, as mentioned, just for those instances where you can just swap the basic Pokemon of choice to the correct one, and bang, you can just get things going. Next up is Jirachi, also swappable, so if you use Ninja Boy for Jirachi, you also have a great time. This is an XY promo and has the attack Stardust. That attack deals 10 damage, holy moly. And if the opponent has a special energy attached, we discard that energy and become invincible for 1 single turn with Jirachi, so nothing can hit us. So again, a card to slow the opponent down. Lastly, 1 copy of Tapu Lele-GX, just for the consistency. It provides with the ability Wonder Check. You definitely want to have 1 copy of the Tapu Lele in your deck, just if you have a terrible start and you at least draw into an Ultra Ball, you can just get your stuff going. We run 2 Sycamore. You might think, wow, that's a little bit low. Well, we don't want to discard that many stuff. The only thing we want to do is get the lock going on. So only 2 Sycamore, 4 N, because N is the perfect card in this deck. The opponent will take prize cards. Well, we always get 6 cards with the N card, since we won't be taking any prize cards. Then 2 Skyla, of course, to get ourselves the Devolution Sprays, maybe a Float Stone, maybe the Counter Catcher, which I'm gonna talk about later. So 2 copies of Skyla is great. 1 copy of Gladion, that lets us check our prize cards and take a card and swap it with Gladion, because sometimes in those weird situations all of our energies might get priced. We only run 6 energies in the deck. Sometimes if you shuffle like crazy, all of them can be priced and then we automatically lose. So 1 copy of Gladion will save us from that circumstance. Now we're not taking any single prize card, so Gladion will help us out to search something that we desperately need. 1 copy of Lusamine to get back crucial supporters like Acerola, your Sycamore, your N, your Brigette, or your Skyla. You can get back a supporter of choice, and since this deck just has an infinite lock going on, we have the time and space just to get 1 copy of Lusamine on. We're also running 1 copy of Brigette to set up our bench with a lot of Pikachus early game. So if you manage to get Tapu Lele Brigette, it's still possible with this deck, but we also run Nazbills, more on that later. We're gonna run 2 copies of Acerola because we have stall Pokemon at our disposal like Xurkitree. Sometimes they slap damage onto our Xurkitree and we just use Acerola, grabbing back the energy and the Pokemon in the hand. And just to remove our board with GXs. Sometimes you use Tapu Lele and then get yourself Brigette. Well, just attach a Rainbow Energy onto Tapu Lele GX and put that Tapu Lele back in your hand just for safety measures. That way the opponent does not target your Tapu Lele and get 2 prize cards. So definitely a great strategy, running 2 Acerola. As mentioned, the Rainbow Energies also provide a way out. If you might get stuck in the active position, attach a Rainbow and Acerola could work out fine as well. yeah, for the items we're gonna play 2 Counter Catcher. In this deck, Counter Catcher is wonderful. We don't take any prize cards, so we will always follow behind in prize cards, and with that we activate the awesome power of Counter Catcher. With that in mind, we take advantage of the card and target something on the opponent's bench. This is extremely crucial in situations where the opponent has a thing that can slow us down, like Zoroark with stand-in. Retreating every turn is something that can break the lock of paralyzation. That's something we don't want. With Counter Catcher, we drag that Zoroark stand-in in the active position and keep it locked for the rest of the game. That could happen if they don't have their Guzmas yet, but sometimes we just discard their Guzmas, just to keep it in mind. Yeah, also this deck does have its fair share of problems and counters. First up is Guzma. Every deck plays up to 3 to 4 Guzma, and they will target our GXs maybe, or maybe something on the bench, which is unfortunate. If they early game get a lot of prize cards and have their Guzmas at the right time, and we quadruple flip on tails with the Heatmor, we actually might lose. But thanks to discarding cards from the opponent's deck, like Team Rocket's Handiwork or maybe Durant, we can maybe hopefully discard some of their Guzmas. Also, Xurkitree being able to put that extra prize card to the opponent's prize cards is definitely great. With that, they need to take 7 prize cards, which is awesome for the prize race. They only have 4 Guzmas, so once they have used all their Guzmas and they don't run any basic switches, yeah, it's over. They cannot retreat anymore and they will be locked. Also, Comfy might be a little bit of a problem if they're afraid of this deck, but this is an underground deck. Not a lot of people play this deck, so they won't be playing any Comfies anytime soon. Yeah. Then for the items, yeah, I already talked about Counter Catcher, as it plays a huge role in this deck. Next we are going to run 1 Floatstone, just in case you might get stranded in the active position and you have no way out. That way Skyla and the Floatstone might get you out of that situation. Then 2 Nazball, because getting dunked is never fun, and it does set you up for a turn 2 Raichu, which is a little bit easier to get the lock going on. Then 4 Field Blower. This is such an important card, because not because you want to get rid of their Floatstone, because they cannot retreat even if they have the Floatstone. The Field Blowers are just for Garbage Toxin. Garbage Toxin will shut down the ability of Raichu, and then we are a deck that does nothing at all. We don't take prize cards, we don't paralyze at all, so we need to get rid of the tool card on the Garbage Toxin in order to win that matchup, so that's what we're doing here. Then 3 Ultra Ball. I know running 4 Ultra Ball might be better. If you have space, maybe run that, but in this particular list, 3 Ultra Ball, but we already run 2 Nazball, so we already have enough draw engine for Pokemon, and since we only run 1 Tapu Lele, running 4 Ultra Ball is not even necessary. Nazball is the most efficient card here. Then to finish off, 2 Rescue Stretchers for the Heatmors, Raichus and Pikachus that get demolished throughout the game. There are gonna be a few KOs, one-hit KOs rather. Once the opponent gets an opportunity to attack, they will get a one-hit KO, and we need to get Pikachus on the bench every single turn. A Rescue Stretcher gives us that little bit of recovery. And that's it. This is the list that Sander Wojcik, hopefully your name is correctly here, used to get into the top 16 at the London Internationals. It's one of these guys from the Netherlands that came up with this crazy idea. I definitely love it. Let me know what you think about new creative decks like this in the comment section below, and definitely test it out for yourself. The deck list will also be in the description below, so have a little bit of fun with it and let me know how it does. Okay, let's move on. Actually, that's what I would say, but normally this would be the section where Poké News gets introduced, but Poké News has been moved to my Facebook page, so feel free to check it out on facebook.com/ZapdosTCG, and liking the page, of course, is much appreciated. There you get the latest Pokemon TCG news as soon as I get it in, and also once it gets revealed, I give a little bit of a recap of what's being revealed and how we could use it. So with that, you get the news lightning fast, because that's my motto here. Lightning fast information, go there, facebook.com/ZapdosTCG. Anyway, this was it for the video. Have a fantastic day. Smash that like button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more TCG content on a daily basis. This was ZapdosTCG here. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.